And we interview, we go through the process then, and we sit down and determine how the scholarships will be awarded. And we're very excited. It's a brand new scholarship for us that was started as I arrived.
Wow. Sounds interesting again, Dr. Childs. What about for Westfields, Dr. Paolo?
Yeah, similar. We have two main programs, scholarships, academic scholarships, and sports-based scholarships. So obviously if you're excelling academically, or whether you excel in sport, either of those two criteria will enable you to come and obtain a scholarship, anything from 100% all the way down to 50, 25% down. But I think in addition to that, obviously tuition fees have an attracting or detracting effect on applications. I think at Westfields we're able to offer a very competitive tuition fee, which caters for the middle market and above. Obviously in education there's different markets, we have to be aware of that. But like I said, for the excelling academics, the excelling sports persons from the local community, we welcome them with our arms open, and similar processes. Come along, with your grade card, come along and demonstrate your sporting ability, and we'll start the process.
Wow, you heard it straight from Dr. Paolo. Dr. Art, in terms of regulation of schools in general and international schools, do we have, or the department, does DepEd have a power to regulate tuition fees of international schools?
Yes, sir. Actually, we all private schools are under reasonable regulation and supervision of the Department of Education. That when we say regulation, then these schools will have to submit application for government, for increase in tuition fees or other fees or miscellaneous fees, because that's one part of our regulatory function. We see to it that when these schools increase tuition fees, it must be fair and just to the learners, and that this calls for consultation with parents, with the Parents-Teacher Association. If they agree to such increase, then we can grant the increase. And if there's no such, then we call for justifications of such increase.
In other words, Dr. Art, putting my question to another context, do we put a cap on the amount of tuition fee that can be collected by an international school, or do we fix a minimum of tuition fee to be collected?
Actually, we do not fix. It's like what I've said a while back. If the parents, when the school plans to increase tuition fee, it must be consulted with the parents. And if the parents agree or are in conformity with the increase in tuition fee, then we have to approve. We have to take note of the increase in tuition fee because it was in conformity with the parents.
Yeah. Because, we give the free hand. We give the free hand to the school.
Yes.
After all, we live in a free country.
Yes. It's one requirement actually in applying for recognition or permit to operate.
Dr. Paolo,
Yes.
I'll talk to you first.
Okay.
In terms of tuition fee, how enticing is your tuition fee?
Well, actually, my three kids also go to Westfields International School. So I can also comment both as a parent and as a teacher. In terms of enticement, certainly I would say that what we're able to provide in terms of the educational environment with our foreign faculty, multicultural community, international accreditation, I think it's immensely enticing. We're roughly around about 120,000 per year, which is spread over 3 semesters, flexible installment programs. I, as a parent, would also recommend that approach that Westfields has with their tuition fee. I think it's very reasonable, and the quality of education that we're able to provide is exceptional.
Candidly, honestly,
I like candid questions.
Candidly, do you cater to the A-B market, or do you have C-D market?
You're talking about socio-economic classification here?
Yeah.
So A and B being the top, C and D.
Middle class, upper middle class.
Yes, we do. I mean, we have a lot of sports scholars, for example, soccer players, who come from the poorer backgrounds, from the lower socio-economic backgrounds. We also have tie-ups with some local public schools where we provide scholarships with them and work alongside them on education and sport. So we are I would argue we're heavily integrated with the local community.
That's good. That's very good to hear, Dr. Paolo. Thank you. Dr. Charles, well, in terms of the tuition fee, how for the lack of a better word, how enticing again is your tuition fee?
Our tuition fees are higher than Westfield's, in part because of the facilities that we have and in part because of the educational levels of some of our faculty. That's why we're offering scholarships so it can be more competitive. Our class sizes run 7 to 10 students, so keeping a class size small is very important to us also. And our focus, while we also have athletic scholarships, we're also encouraging, we have a wonderful fine arts program and a fine orchestra program, and we're developing all of those areas so that our students who have those particular talents and interests will have those opportunities with us also.
So, you're giving premium to arts, the way I understand it.
Yes, and not to the dissatisfaction of athletics, but realizing that our goal is to create a wholly well-rounded person. What we provide the students on our campus are a variety of sports, but many of them are more the individualized sports. Golf, swimming. We'll offer archery next year. We also offer after-school soccer and those type of things. But our focus and stream, because of the strengths that we have, will be in this fine and visual and performing arts area. And that's one of the reasons that I was brought on too, because that is all of my background.
Incidentally, sir, while we're at it, is Noblesse sectarian or non-sectarian school?
We are non-sectarian.
Non-sectarian. So, like all international schools, is it safe to say that all international schools are non-sectarian?
No, it's not. No, it would not be safe to say. Many of them are church affiliated, or they are affiliated with businesses started by a denomination. And then the business runs the church. The business runs the school. So everyone it's a different setup.
What about Westfield, Sir Paulo?
Yes.
Is it sectarian or non-sectarian?
Non-sectarian.
Also,
But we cater towards. If we look at our student body today, we have a whole diverse range of people from agnostics to atheists to Catholics to people from Islamic backgrounds. So we provide the resources that they need to meet their cultural and religious needs. But as a whole, we're a non-sectarian school.
Thank you so much. Corporations, incidentally, they have this corporate social responsibility, right? Giving back to the people. In terms of international schools, our audience may think that international schools generally cater to international students. But can you please share to our televiewers what are the programs of your school, if any, in terms of interaction, in terms of integration with the local culture, specifically the Filipino culture? Dr. Childs, please.
Certainly. I'm happy to report that we are active in a number of areas. We have tutors from our school, student tutors and teachers, that go to one of our local children's homes on a weekly basis. We also have done fundraising through our orchestra and hosting the Hong Kong Men's Choir for local charities that are supported also by one of our international Rotaries. And our students did the first fun run this year on the Clark Air Force Base to raise additional funds also. It's a core component of our International Baccalaureate program in terms of what we call the CAS requirement at the junior and senior level. But it's more importantly, it's a key component of our school community and of who we are, that we need to be in service as servant leaders in the community, regionally, nationally, and internationally.
Wow. If I were in high school, I'd enroll in Noblesse, sir. The way you presented it. How about Westfields, Dr. Paulo?
So I need to think of an even better answer.
No pressure.
I'm joking. Bit of humour. Obviously Westfields has been around for over a decade. And I think I mentioned earlier, we're obviously strongly linked with local public schools and local communities, including INT'L communities in Porac. And places like that. So I think much the same as was just talked about now. I think international schools have a moral and ethical responsibility to provide for the community, both locally, regionally, and nationally. Obviously, last year we had the tragic typhoon Yolanda, which obviously we're heavily involved with in regards to relief efforts and support. And I think our main focus that we have at Westfields is with tie-ups with local public schools on literacy programs, sport, arts and crafts, and then community development programs with INT'L populations in Porac and Pampanga. Yeah.
Sounds interesting too. Now I'm having a hard time.
Yeah, 50-50.
50-50, yeah. Insofar as DepEd is concerned, Dr. Art, do we encourage or do we have programs of integration with international schools, with our local schools, or affiliation with our local counterparts? Meron ba tayong ganon, Dr. Art?
Sir, kasi we only have regulatory functions, but the granting of scholarship grants or how they develop their curriculum is internal to the school. So since it's a private school, they have a way to manage their own affairs. That's the crafting of policies and the enforcement of policies, rules and regulations internal to the school. So the only function of DepEd there is we see to it that within standards set by the Department of Education, they conform with these minimal standards, like what you mentioned, that they have to, for Filipino students, they have to take up Philippine Constitution. They will have to have this nationalism, patriotism integrated in their learning areas, and some other topics or let's say curricula that are Filipino-based. But for international schools, the department allows the international school to adopt foreign curriculum. But for foreign students that are into the international school, they will have to have these learning areas that are Filipino-based, like Philippine Constitution, Social Studies, Ariling Panlipunan, and a little bit Filipino there. And since they mentioned that they have adopted or they are trying to adopt the K-12 curriculum, that they will have to have this kind integrated into their system.
Okay. Dr. Paula, you were
I was just going to say we have mandatory Filipino subject among all levels, including language, history, and culture. For all nationals, whether they're from Britain or from the Philippines, they have to take it. Yeah.
And Noblesse as well?
Yes, as well. And because we're an IBE school, next year it's mandated that we offer Tagalog as a separate foreign language because being in the Philippines. We offer Korean, Tagalog, Chinese, and we'll be looking at other offerings. But yes, we do. And also Philippine history and culture also.
Wow, thank you. Thank you for saying that, because I would want to suggest something in your curriculum that would be
about Kapampangan studies.
Maybe
we should introduce that. I'll suggest to our owner, Kapampangan studies.
Since we have discussed K-12, probably in the next gap we will discuss a little further about K-12 and the integration of the mother tongue or something, or the topic of similar topic as well. So ako po mama ko, ako magpetiks-petiks, usto na yung chaman-chaman, may papalabang kang English. Uling, oras na.
Manpower service problems? Avoid the hassles of recruitment, training, allocation of benefits, and other labor demands. For your sanitation, maintenance, and janitorial requirements, we've got the solution for you. Forerunner Services Incorporated will provide a competent and professional workforce your company needs, and more. Forerunner, revolution in manpower services.
Shop in the convenience of your home. Catch Easy Shop on SCN Cable Channel 32 for 24/7 TV shopping, and on Incamax Channel 8 in the following schedule.
Bro, afford mo to. No bro, afford ko to.
Houseland, afford ko to. Kay saya ng buhay sa Houseland, afford ko to.
Wow! Nice bag! Social!
Ano ka ba, Mars? Afford mo to.
No, Mars. Mas afford ko to.
Houseland, afford ko to. Kay saya ng buhay sa
nagustuhan ko po dito sa Shepherd's Light Learning Center, magagaling po yung mga teachers, magaling silang magturo, at very loving and caring sila sa aming mga anak. Lalo na po pati mga guards dito, mga kuya, pagpasok mo pa lang sa eskwelahan, nandyan na sila mag-a-assist sa yung mga anak hanggang sa kanilang mga kwarto. Lagi sila dyan na very loving, caring, and compassionate sila.
Kung anak ko po since kinder, nandito na po siya. Hanggang ngayon po grade 5 siya. Dahil napaka-galing po ng mga teachers nila dito, wala po akong masasabi. Ako na po ang nagpapatotoo. The best teachers po yung nandito. Encourage po mga parents na dito nyo po enroll yung mga anak nyo. The best po.
That you taught us will make you proud, will shine God's light.
Shepherd's Light Learning Center, dedicated to bring out the best in our children.
Oh, Shepherd's Light.
Feel the Japan experience. Children of Japanese citizens with their moms can experience more of Japan. Tokyo Immigration Lawyer's Office offers legal assistance for child recognition, visa, marriage, naturalization, tax refund, adoption, and more. With attorney Uchio Yukiya. Contact us anywhere in the Philippines.
Oras na. Oras na. Oras na.
Magbalik tayo po kay katamong fourth and final gap, ne po. But it feels like it's only the first gap, ne? Because kami po tuto ko nang mag-discuss even during commercial breaks, ne po. So, I will share with you our televiewers the funny questions that I asked them. You may seem questions that may not come from a lawyer. I asked our doctor friends here, since your students study in an international school, they have a diverse you have a diverse faculty as well as studentry. What accent do they get? I asked them, Dr. Art. So, Dr. Paulo, your answer to me was what was their accent?
Well, having a unique British accent. For I don't know if it's good or bad, but it's usually my accent that they try to intimidate. Yeah. The Harry Potter sort of pronunciation, which is okay. It's fine, I guess. But usually, most students sort of tend towards more the American accent.
American, yeah.
Which is fine. As long as people can communicate with each other, does the accent really matter? In my opinion, if we can understand each other, communicate with each other clearly, express ourselves, I think the accent doesn't really matter.
But sometimes when we speak of accent, it gives a different meaning to a word, right? For example, paper. In Filipino, they call it paper.
Paper,
yeah. Paper in paper in British English.
Paper.
Yeah. Australian is piper, right?
American.
Paper.
Yeah.
With a harder R at the
end. It somehow it gives a different meaning to it gives a different approach to a word, right? Harry Potter. You mentioned Harry Potter.
Yes.
A Filipino favorite dish is crispy pata.
Crispy pata. Yeah. That's unfortunate.
Unfortunately.
Yeah.
What about noblesse, Dr. Childs?
Because we have such a diversity in linguistic representation from English speaking, we will find students attempting to follow the teacher that they are with. What we're doing in our preparation work with the new program is trying to get them to the level that they are speaking what we would call an academic level of English, which would be as accent neutral as possible, but in reality that's very, very difficult to do. What we want to make certain is that they are fully capable of communicating in English at the academic level at which they want to compete when they leave us.
Wow.
I concur.
You concur, huh, sir?
A legal term.
Do you think, objectively, candidly, Dr. Art, do you think our Filipino students, products of local public schools, can compete with the graduates of international schools?
Oh yes, we have graduates from the Philippine Science High Schools, from other high schools all around the country that are actually performing in the field of sports, culture, or whatever, like what they offer in their schools. These are schools that are the performing schools in the department, and there are so many here in the country, and they really can compete with the students coming from the international schools.
That sounds good. Very good news. Music to my ears. Dr. Paulo.
Yes.
What would be my next question?
Anything you like.
Yeah. Since I am very nationalistic, as well, my question, the same question for you, Dr. Childs. Do we teach the Philippine National Anthem to your students?
Yes, we do.
Yeah.
So every morning in assembly we have the Filipino National Anthem and obviously the flag raising, and we attach to that a foreign national anthem. We rotate based upon the community of our school, like 1 month American, the next month British, but always the Filipino National Anthem is played the first anthem in the morning.
Wow, that's good. Dr. Childs, what about in Noblesse? Do you?
Yes, we with the Filipino National Anthem, and then followed by the Korean National Anthem, and then we begin to rotate as they do, as we have a broader national basis. I did want to address one thing that that gentleman said from DepEd that I agree with. In the United States, I was principal of high school of 2,500 students. Principal of high school of 1,500 students. Principal of high school of 400 students. And what the difference in the schools has been for me when I dealt with the independent and private schools in the United States is always comes down to two things: the quality of the teacher in the classroom and class sizes. And that's what we found difficult to compete with in the United States, were the class size issues, because my classes in the United States, many of them had 35 and 40 students in them. So the difference for me here is we have phenomenal Filipino teachers, we have phenomenal international teachers. The difference for us is that ability to be smaller in class size. But I have to agree. We turned out in my large school some phenomenal students, but the tendency in the big school is for a student to become lost with that, and we fought the same challenge in the United States. So the smaller class sizes benefit us with that, but the specialty schools here, they're doing some very fine things.
Okay. When my teams give this signal, it means I'll get your final message. I hate to say last words. It sounds morbid. So, Dr. Paulo, can I have your final message to our televiewers? You can address them, sir.
Yeah, I think we are immensely lucky here in Pampanga to have some amazing international schools offering a broad range of opportunities for students in Pampanga. At Westfields, we're proud to have been the first international school here in Pampanga, and we're proud to serve both the local community and the international community in Clark and the surrounding areas. And I hope that, given an opportunity for you to come and have a look at our campus, meet some of our wonderful students, our wonderful parents, our wonderful teachers, that you'll be encouraged both academically and holistically to come and enroll at Westfields. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. Dr. Paulo Fuller, Cambridge Director, Westfields International School. And of course, I give you now the headmaster, Noblesse International School, Dr. Harvey Childs.
We would welcome you also to the NIS campus. We are very, very pleased with the educational levels of our faculty. Our scholarship program right now for Filipino students, first through the 8th grade, affords an opportunity to come to our campus where we have a wonderful facility, small class sizes, and the opportunity to meet the individual unique needs of students, as our class sizes never go larger than 15. So we welcome you to join us as we move forward with our International Baccalaureate diploma, as we move forward with our Arts Immersion programs, and with our Reading Horizons program for English acquisitions. I too agree that we are fortunate to be in Pampanga, and I am fortunate to be at NIS as we complete our WIS accreditation from the international body.
Thank you very much, Dr. Childs. Now I give to you the Assistant Chief, Quality Assurance Division of the DepEd Region 3, Dr. Arthur Sacatropes.
The Department of Education is happy with the private schools in our locality. And like what I've said a while back, it's not really whether it's public or private, but it's more on the learners' outcomes, how these schools develop their curriculum, how they develop the students, how they hone the abilities of the students to come out as best students when they finish the basic education course and when they go to a higher level of learning. Okay, so we are happy to have with us, or the department is in partnership with the private schools.
Thank you very much, Dr. Sacatropes. At this point, we would like to say happy viewing to Yomi David and the staff and management of BDO MacArthur. Likewise, happy viewing to Iya, Liv Yuan, and Dr. Emily. Pakatanda ng tampo, gintuing oras sa dareng keraklan. Dapat sisiran. Dapat sasayangan. Na naman problema, dapat siyang harapan. Banglon toing sala, kaya katamparasan. Pasibayo, kaya kung kakakwentuhan katalamitam, Attorney Oji kaya biyapo, hanggang kentutuking lunis. Usto na yung petiks-petiks. Usto na yung saman-saman. Uling. Oras na.
Oras na, oras na, oras ng kasabihan. Oras na, oras na, oras ng surian. Oras na, oras na, oras ng solusyonan. Oras na, oras na. Dengis yung